UCF's
Oh,
just
okay.
had
I thought you'd go West Virginia favorite. Okay.
no. I like UCF. I like UCF this year, especially with KJ Jefferson coming in.
Okay.
And they also have a couple of Big 12 transfers from Cincinnati as well. So
Yeah.
I just they're at least they just had a weird season last year. Like they just had weird games, and I like them more than last year. So
Okay.
it's just like you said. This could totally be a trap game. West Virginia struggled in Lubbock going into the following week, at least the last few years. So I
Mhm.
feel like the team's going to overlook UCF in between Baylor and Texas Tech. So yeah, I'm going swing.
Yeah, and then that mentioned going to Lubbock. Nice segue. I am going to also give you a surprising swing game at Lubbock against Texas Tech. And unlike UCF, that I think will be probably a 7-8 win team and could be good and should be better than last year, nobody's expecting much from Texas Tech. They're usually perennially a 7-win team. They're competitive, but not great. I don't think they're going to vie for the conference or be that great, but that screams similar to what Baylor was on the road last year before the bowl, especially if you're having it before a Big 12 title game or before the playoff or even before a solid bowl game. I could see that being a quote unquote trap game. No one likes going to Lubbock. There's dust everywhere. No one wants to go there. If you have 9 wins and one more gets you 10, I could see, yeah, there's a lot to play for, but I also could see it's hard to be a game that you get up for. I could see that being an upset at the end of the year. If it was in Morgantown, I would say win all day. But on the road at Lubbock, these are the last 2 games. I do think Vegas will probably favor the Mountaineers by at least 4.5 against UCF at home and even Texas Tech on the road, maybe even 7.5 plus against the Red Raiders. But I'm saying swing because I would not be surprised if they drop that game at the end of the year. And potentially, then I wouldn't even be shocked if they do a West Virginia thing and they lose that game and that kicks them out of going to Dallas. That just screams a bad matchup at the end of the season to close out a year going to Lubbock. That is like the worst road trip to have.
Yeah, yeah, I got swing as well. I don't. Texas Tech seems to always be the dark horse team in the conference, and then they never live up to it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once again, they're the dark horse team. But I just can't. West Virginia struggled in Lubbock the last couple times they've went there. So, and especially the last game of the year, like you
Sure.
said, if they're contending for Dallas, like last season they were a couple weeks away from still contending. So if they're still contending by November 30th and they're going to Lubbock, that's another time where that's a trap game. And yeah, I don't think Texas Tech's going to be the dark horse 9-win Big 12 team this year, but
Right.
it's not an ideal way to end the regular season.
No, you almost wish you could flip flop the UCF Texas Tech thing and at least have that second to last and then end the year at home against UCF, etc. But no, going to Lubbock before all of that. Honestly, even if you have that road trip and you're really vying for Dallas, I consider keeping them there. I consider as a university, they go to Lubbock and then just stay. Imagine going to Lubbock, you go back home, and then 2 days later you got to go back again. Like maybe logistically, you just stay, or you go from Lubbock, of course, to Dallas. You stay in Texas. Obviously, they're not going to do that, but that'll be in front of the Mountaineers. A lot could be on their mind. Wouldn't be shocked. Obviously, they blow it at the end, and Texas Tech is just always a pesky freaking opponent. Yeah, nobody wants to go to Lubbock at any time, let alone to close a freaking year off. So that'll do it for our little game here to kind of preview the Mountaineer season off their schedule, whether they're going to be the favorite, the underdog, or whether it's a swing game. We both got some swing games. I have more swing games than Ethan. They won a lot of swing games last year, but they also lost some. And then we differ on, I believe, Arizona. I have them as an underdog, right? You had that as a swing game, I think.
Arizona had no, I had underdog as well.
Oh, okay. I know Iowa State, Kansas State. Those were a couple games that we differed on.
And
Kansas.
you were different
Yeah.
on Iowa State. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll leave you with this. Maybe it'll be a future show. Maybe I'll make it a post. Maybe I'll just throw it on social. I brought it up on another show the other day that would you rather is another would you rather. Would you rather win the Big 12 16th conference title, which is top 20 in college football history, get all that celebrated, have a trophy, get a ring, you get that, and you get a bye in the playoff, and then you lose right away. So you lose a Sugar Bowl or whatever after a bye, so you lose at the same spot, but you win the Big 12, or you get in as an 8 seed and you host a playoff game in Morgantown, it would be freaking lit. McAfee would do his show there again. Maybe you win it, but then you lose the next week, so you're losing at the same spot. Or even if you lose it, but you get that full atmosphere and you get ticket sales, etc. I know the program wants the conference title number one. That's what I've asked them. That's what their answer is. They want the conference title. That is the goal. They want that trophy. They would celebrate the full history if they get it. That's what they want. I have had some say they'd rather have the home playoff game for what that could mean. It kind of would be, you're from Cincinnati, I'm from Pittsburgh. That could be a 2013 wildcard game vibe, Pirates against the Reds, where the crowd had caused Cueto to drop the ball, and that's an image forever, even though they didn't go to the NLCS. But again, conference title is a title, even if you don't win the national title. That is a debate. I could see that going either way. I'll leave that there. I'll put a pin in that, and I'll leave that there.
That's just a tough one. That's a tough one to end it on.
It's a tough one to end it on, because that is the thing, and that's the thing that's gonna. It's almost the way this works. The dichotomy here kind of sucks. That you want the bye, like you want to bye in the NFL playoffs. You want to win your conference. You don't want to lose games. You'd rather win them, but doing so boots you out of hosting. Whereas if you have a chance now, in all reality, if they get it as an at-large, they're probably going to be a road team and get 11 or a 12 seed, so it won't be a thing. But if they could host one in Morgantown, can you imagine that atmosphere? That would be off the hook.
I actually can't imagine it.
No, I can. Yeah, you're probably considering, like, how can I ever, my house would burn down. Where would I be living? How can I get home? That would be a concern. Yes, but that would be, because even all the success of the program in the past, hosting a playoff game, hosting one. That's a different vibe than traveling thousands of miles for a major bowl game. That is a different vibe. That's different than going to a Final Four. That's hosting the damn thing. I mean, imagine that. I'll put a pin in that and keep that there. Again, like and subscribe. Hit us up, audio or visual, here from Mountaineer Report, and find our coverage at WV Sports Now.